Welcome Liutao, congratulations on winning the 11 Second Club. My name is Leigh Rens. I'll be your mentor that's going to give you your critique as your prize for winning. A little bit about myself. I'm currently working over at Alpha Animation Studios, doing animation there at the moment and layout for them. Previous to that I was on the Angry Birds movie, and I've got to give a shout out to that. Here's my Angry Birds mug. I've got to show you all that. That's awesome. This movie's out in March, and prior to that I was working on Pac-Man Ghostly Adventures. It's a studio called Sprite Animation, and that's a Japanese studio. And then previous to that I was at Disney Animation, working on Legacy Project, which is the 2 Tinkerbell movies that were recently released last year and the year before. So that's me in a nutshell. My way back history was I was over at Hues, worked on Garfield and Scooby-Doo and Lion Witch in the Wardrobe and a bunch of things. So obviously I've got this long history. You want to have a look at all that, you can go and check my name out on IMDb, or you can have a look at my website at leirens.com. So that's me, but that's not why we're here. We're here for you. Gone through what your shot is, got some notes ready for you, so we're going to play it first and check it out. And then we'll get into some notes that hopefully will plus your shot and make it even more awesome than it already is. By the way, I just wanted to mention your shot's amazing. I really like what you've done. It really taps into the spirit of what the audio is about, and you're really hitting it. So super happy about that. It's just there might be a few notes that we can maybe amplify a bit more. So that's about it. Here goes. Let's have a look at what you have.
Cool. Crying at all is not allowed, not in my castle on a cloud.
Love the ending on this. Awesome.
I know a place where no
so
one cries.
Here goes. The audio is she's basically saying she's got a place where no one cries, and she's dreaming of a castle in the sky. So my first notes are really some acting choice notes, which is kind of like a personal thing when you animate something. Those are the choices that the animator makes. So it's something that's kind of based on flavor or choice of the animator. So these are suggestions really, but I just wanted to go over these. There's 2 things that I feel could maybe strengthen it. I just want to throw these ideas at you, see if you want to do them, try them out and see if they work. So one is where she starts out here, where she comes in and she's looking behind her. I just feel that if she was actually looking up high here, if she lifted her chin up higher and was looking more up into the corner here, it would just really emphasize the moment that she's actually thinking of a castle in the sky. So something that's a bit up higher. It'll also give you the opportunity so you can push her head back a bit more, so you can still get the 2 eyes in there and a bit more of the profile of the face. And you can actually get the light on her face, so you can read how beautiful she is as a princess or whatever. It's one of those theatrical moments where you're presenting the heroine of a story. You want their face up in the light so that you can see clearly what it is. The reason for this is basically, there's some animation reasons for it as well as just the theatrical reason of presenting the heroine. What we want is we want that face up high so that we can bring it down low. So we want to play the opposites. We want to play that yin and yang thing of going from one position to another position. Use the space of the screen. Sell the heroine on a high note. So she's going to start out high emotionally, thinking of her beautiful castle, and then she's going to go low. So this is going to tap into my main point that I wanted to share with you about these 2 choices that I have. That's the one choice that I just mentioned. And that is the gesture of what's happening. What we want to sell is we want to sell the gesture, which is just really the movement of the acting. Now, if you think of someone being sad, it's a deflation. The person is just deflating. They're getting sad, so they're just, all the steam's going out of their body, so they're just deflating. So we want that movement to go from up high to low. That's kind of the idea. And you've got that in spades at the end of your shot. We just want to you already have the mechanics of this working, of the looking back and then looking in the other direction. We just want to strengthen that move. So that would be my suggestion for you on that. And that's going to play into my second note here. Quick, let's hit play.
Place where no one cries.
place where no one cries. So she's going to turn and put her hand. Now her hand is kind of level with her chin, or nose and her chin right now. So she doesn't have a lot of movement to do with that hand right now. My suggestion is to put the hand, place the hand up higher. So I'm just going to move out the way here so you can see if I can get this right. So she places her hand up here, right? So she comes and she places her hand up here, and I drop her head down, right? And then she pulls her hand down, and as she pulls her hand down, her head lifts, and then she plays into the rest of the shot. Now, this idea of her going down here is like she was looking up there, now she's sad, and then she's going to do this. So it's a one move, and it's a counter movement. The head's going to come up as that hand comes down, and then she's going to release from the wall, and her head's going to turn towards camera a little bit. So it's almost like you want this hand coming down to come at one speed, and then her hand moving away from the wall to be at another speed. And that's going to really play into that whole idea of phrasing that emotion a little stronger. So that's kind of my notes. You can give those a try, see if they work. And that would be my only notes for you on the acting choices. Other than that, I think the rest plays really well. So the rest of my notes for you, let's have a look. So that's one note out of 5 that I've completed there. Let's see if we can get to the others. So that's one crossed off the list. Here goes. We're going to have a look at, let me just give you the notes so you know what they are. We're going to have a look at the mouth, we're going to have a look at the hands, we're going to have a look at breathing, and we're going to have a look at staging. So that's all I could really come up with. And they're really small notes, and they're just going to really plus this. They're just ideas to try to see if we can really just push this up a little increment at a time and make it awesome. It's already great, it's already really functioning and hitting all the notes. It's got the audience, but we just want to see if we can even push it slightly more further. That's kind of the idea. Okay, so let's play through this one, have a look at the hands. I think that was one of my most important notes for you here. Hands over here, if we have a look at this, there's a lot of tension that you built into the arms here with her back coming down straight, right? And this is almost at right angles here on that wrist at the bottom, which I'm not a fan of. I hate it when you get something that is at the same angle as the edge of frame. That kind of locks the pose down a bit. So if I hit play, and immediately you come out of it. So it's not really noticeable. It's not something that lingers on screen there. You come out of it, and you kind of locks here on the straight of the arm. So I was thinking about how to come up with something that might be a bit better than this in terms of the hand position. And I know you're playing with the fingers there, like she's like, and that's pretty cool, but there might be something, she kind of, there's some breathing in the hand there, but those fingers are kind of curled, almost like a claw behind her there a little, and you're on the straight line, that's the straight of the arm. So what you'd do on a hand like that is you'd actually break the angle at the wrist a little, so you'd pull that up a little bit like that if you're going to put that hand behind her a little. And then I was playing around with twisting the hand going in this direction maybe, because guys tend to point their pinkies forward and girls tend to point their thumbs forward. It's kind of one of those things that differentiates girls from guys. So I was playing around with twisting the hand maybe like this, and I think my final conclusion I came to that is if the hand was out this way. So I'm going to stand up out of my chair and give you a demonstration on that. Let's just see if I can get this right. I might mess it up, but hold on there a second. I'm just going to push my chair out the way here. So if she's got her hands behind her back here and she brings them forward, I have to tilt this down a bit so you can see a little bit clearer. If she's going to have her hands behind her back here and she brings them forward like this as she's walking, she brings it forward. That hand would come past you, as I suggested, with that angle breaking there. But I think she's going to do something like this. So I'm going to go, she's going to do something like that with her hand. And then as she moves forward to place her hand, you can rotate her wrist back like that. And I think that would read a lot stronger. That was my one suggestion. The other suggestion, if you don't like that one, is her hand behind you. There's a lot of tension, so she's pushing her chest out, and then she brings her hand forward. It'd be nice if you could just catch the edge of the thumb, if you just wanted to keep the hand straight. And you're going to have to, one of the things that would happen if she's relaxed, if she's in kind of melancholy or she's kind of sad, is that hand would straighten out and that finger would kind of point directly at the ground. So that would be kind of it. Another thing on the overlap of the hand, so it should bring that hand, it would overlap and come back. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that on the hands as well. I'll just help you. So what happens on the hand is you've got this wedge shape here, and you've got the line of the forearm. What would happen if you do overlap is you want those lines to lock, so you'd have this line locked. It's kind of as far as you can move the hand in that direction. This creates a straight line, and if you move the hand in that direction, this creates a straight line at the back here. So that's kind of like the idea for overlap, is that you would bring the hand forward and back and lock those lines. So that's kind of one idea. And the other idea, I favor the hand coming up like that, and then she can rotate the hand back. And I think that would work a little bit better than the straight claw hand with the fingers at the bottom here. Now if you're a real fan of that claw hand, of those fingers working at the back there, that's fine, you can keep that. That could still work. But if you were to do that, if it was my shot, I'd actually put a tissue in there or a handkerchief in there that she'd be playing with or something like that. And that could kick the shot up as well. That could also make it really cool. Problem is I really love where she folds her arms at the end, and she'd have to lose the hanky at some point for that. So audience might notice it, audience might not. But that's kind of my 3 suggestions on the hand there. My other problem I have with hands is this hand over here. We've got something funky with the rig. I wanted to point this out to you. And that's that we've got a line that comes over here and over here as well. So kind of that forearm kind of looks like a sausage. It kind of fattens out in the middle and trims. Normally you would have one straight line. So let me just erase this here for you. And you'd have a straight line happening over here on the forearm, and then this would bulge out at the bottom here. You know, so you'd have a straight with a curve playing against it. So it's kind of funky. Something funky that's happening there with the rig. And you can also have a look at this angle here. There's this strange highlight that crosses that wrist, which kind of just looks weird. It looks like the rig's actually pretzeling. In other words, it's twisting over there. So it's creating a weird highlight on that wrist. Your finger work on the hand touching the wall is pretty cool. I like that. That's working really well. So that's about it for me on hands, I think. I'm going to pause here a moment and draw in this hand what I'd see happening over here. I'll try and do that for a few friends so you can just see what I had in mind for that hand. And I'll see if I can draw in that head shape as well, that head angle in the beginning, so that you can get an idea what that's about. And then we'll be back. Cool. Okay, we're back. So here goes. Let's have a look. I drew a mask face here. It's pretty grotesque, but it gives you the idea. So if you lift her face up, so she's looking up, you can get a clearer read on her face. Obviously, she's going to be a lot more prettier than this, trust me. But that's just to indicate how you'd lift. So instead of her face being down, you're going to lift that face up, you know, so you can get a clear read on the light hitting that face. That's the idea for that shot. Let's have a look at the hands. I don't know if I did them justice, but I think I've got one in here. I think I've got 2 poses in here with the hands. Let's see. So I'd lift the hand up in here. So it kind of, instead of it being back like that, it would be lifted up. Hand will be lifted up, and then you're going to rotate the hand as she moves forward. So let's have a look at how the second pose on that hand would work. There it is there, right? So she'd lift that hand up so you could see those fingers, and then she's going to rotate that hand back to that position there as she reaches for the wall. When she hits the wall, she's going to bring her head down more. So her head's going to come down with her hand up, and then she's going to lift her hand, and then, you know, she's going to lift her head as the hand comes down, and then turn towards camera. And that's the acting choices. So that's the hands and the acting choices. See if you can get rid of that, or the pretzel, or the funny highlight on this wrist over here. Cool. And then the rest is great. The rest is working really well. And you're playing quite well into the cuteness of it all. Okay, so that covers hands. next up is mouth. There was just one shape really on the mouth that I felt, which was here. So we're going to hit play.
I know a place.
Know a place. So on place, right, her head's going to be up more. So when she says place, it's play. So you can see the corners of the mouth go up here, place. When she goes place, the corners of the mouth come down. So you're going to have a shape that's going to reverse out. So it goes up like this, and then it's going to reverse out to that. And that's kind of one of the places where I just felt place. And if her head's up, you want to see some of the teeth, you know, because her head, when she's down, you're not going to see the teeth. But when she's up, you'll see some of the top teeth, and maybe a little bit of pink in her mouth for her tongue. And that will really help with some of the lip sync. So that's something that I think you just got to watch out for. Overall, your lip sync's pretty cool. You've got the corners of the mouth moving in and out, and that's working quite well. The other only thing for me, if I want to discuss face with you, is eyes. Eyes and brows, you want them to move together. So you can maybe do a pass where if she's lowering her eyes, the eyebrows come down. She lifts her eyes up, the eyebrows go up. So you kind of keep those eyebrows and eyes moving together, you know. That's the upper half of the face. The lower half of the face, like if you look at the side of my jaw here and I'm talking, you can see that this line, because this is all soft and mushy and squishy, this line is going to change volume. And we're not getting any of that happening in your lip sync. So you need to, like if the corners of the mouth come out, you need to get those cheeks to bulge out slightly. If the corners of the mouth go in, you need to bring those cheeks in. So it's kind of like the old style animators used to talk about this, where they used to say you don't draw one line without it affecting another line. So in CGI, what we say is you don't move one controller without moving the other controller. So if you move the corners of the lips, you've got to move the controllers for the cheeks. It's kind of that kind of thing. Everything affects everything, and you want to work in complete poses. So you want to, that face is a big part of animation. So I spoke about gesture. Gesture is the movement of the acting in the body. Expression is what's happening in the face. So it's kind of, those two things go hand in hand. So when you're dealing with the expression in the face, if you move controllers in the face, you want to make sure that all the controllers, even the controllers for the ears, all of those move kind of in unison. If the face squishes and bulges out, you want like a little bit of movement maybe in the ears. Like if I lift my cheeks up, sometimes my ears wiggle just slightly. So you want to just get as much as you can in terms of just feeling that face as flesh and it's moving. It really helps with that. So that's it for the mouth and the face. Only 2 notes left, and we'll go over these quite quickly. I'm going to end with the staging, but I just wanted to get to the breathing. So let's just hit play.
I know a place.
I know a place. So when she goes you want to lift her body up. So she's breathing. When she goes you know, so you feel that breath. You feel her chest filling with air. I know, because she's singing. So it's like, I know it. And singers, when you sing, you're very conscious of your breathing. You know exactly where to breathe on the line so that they sound beautiful. So you've got enough air to carry those long notes and so on. So when she says, I got a place, so her chest is going to lift up, and place, her chest is going to come down. So let's just hit play again. And that was the one place.
I know a place where no one calls.
So I just felt I and place. Her chest goes up, place, her chest comes down. So just those 2 little places. The rest kind of is taking care of itself, and I think at the end you can maybe finish with another breath.
Crying at all is not allowed, not in my castle on a cloud.
When she says cloud at the end, cloud, you know, you can bring the head down and exhale the chest, so the shoulders can just come in. So it's almost like an umbrella closing on the shoulders. You know, when she says cloud, so she's like letting the last air in her body out of her, you know, a cloud. So it's almost reinforcing that gesture of deflating. So that's kind of it for breathing, so just those 3 places. And we've got 1 note left. Let's see if we can get to that last note. Here goes.
I know a place where...
And this is just staging. I just felt that if on this end here, if we could hit the halfway line on this over here, I feel that's the halfway line of the frame. If we could get her to shift over so that she's actually, you know, so that her nose is actually over here with her eyes. So her face is actually over here somewhere. So that's something to try out. So maybe when you just come to that end position on the camera, you just want some breathing room for her nose on this side. It's not a big deal, but it's just something worth trying. It might get a little bit more drift out of the camera, and that'll play into that, the feeling a little stronger. And that's it. So those are my notes for you. Hopefully they help you out with your shot. Awesome work. Really, really awesome. Thanks, Liutao. You have a great one, man. I'll see you around. Cheers. Hey Liutao, welcome, man. Well, it seems like my drawings, I didn't save my drawings for you on those hands and that face, so this is just a little appendage at the end of this critique, so I'm just going to go back and draw those for you so you can see them. So it was around here where she brings her hand forward. So over here, I'm just going to draw this, and hopefully it works out. So I'm just going to get this in there. And I felt that if her hand were forward here, but so something like this, right? On there, so I'm going to black out the rest of this, and hopefully this works out so you can see what I'm going for over here. Okay, there we go. And just lengthen this one finger a little bit longer. And the hand, so you can see. So that would be the one pose. And then, so obviously she's going to lift her hand like this. So we see the thumb in the hand, and then she's going to rotate it going back. So I'm just going to go spool a little forward and rotate that back to, here's her most extreme back position here on that hand, and we want the hand to come back here. So that's kind of the idea. See if I can black this out for you as well so you can get a clearer read on that hand and the idea behind it. Okay, so there we go. So that's kind of the idea for me on that hand, coming back. And you can even lift it a little higher, so when she's coming back, so it's, you know, instead of it being like that, maybe you can lift it up a little bit higher. You'll get a nice pose out of it, and I think it'll work really well. Okay, cool. So those are the 2 drawings that we're missing. Let's have a look at the face. I had it back here. So this one for me, and I think I had an arrow pointing up here. Let's see if I can get it. It's pretty hard to draw in black, but we'll give it a whirl. There we go. So that's where we want her to look with her face. So I'm just going to come in here. I'm just going to cover up the eyes here a bit. Might look like a bit of a mask, but it'll work out. Right. So I'm going to lift this hairline up a bit. Yeah, so we get a little bit more profile on her face. Okay, so just bear with me a little bit there. I love drawing with the mouse, by the way. I know a lot of mentors draw with a pen. I'm more of a 3D guy, so I'm used to drawing with the mouse more. So apologies for all the clicking, but it brings goodness, trust me. So it's all good. Okay. So there we go. And I'm just going to drop in some eyes here quick. So she's got these beautiful eyes. It's a nice rig you have. I think it's kind of cool. So that's the idea. So you can just see her face clearer. Okay, it's a bit of a mask that I've drawn there, but it gives you an idea. So that would be the idea. And you can even tone the face more. So her nose, not quite so that her nose cuts profile, but just before. So you still read the two eyes, but just get her nose and lift her face up, lift her chin up higher. So give that a whirl, and that should cover it. So cool, man. Great work once again, and I'll see you around. Thanks, Liutao. Cheers, man. Bye.